Many of you have probably wondered what would happen to our planet and all living organisms on it if the sun suddenly went out. Could we survive without it? Since the sun not only provides us with light and heat, but also affects gravity. In this video, we will discuss what would happen to humanity if the sun never illuminated the Earth again, and whether humanity could survive in such a scenario.
If the sun suddenly went out, ancient peoples revered the sun as the supreme deity and source of life on Earth. Indeed, it is thanks to the sun that our planet maintains a temperature comfortable for life. Plants, animals, and humans all depend on the sun. This raises the question, can life exist on the planet without the star? And if so, how long will living organisms be able to survive in new, unsuitable conditions? If the sun suddenly went out, humans would not know about it immediately, but only after 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The fact is that this is how long it takes for light rays to reach our planet. After this short period of time, the planet will plunge into chaos, and this will be the beginning of the collapse of life on Earth. Of course, because a pitch-black night will fall on Earth. People will not even be able to see the moon, because the Earth's satellite does not produce light itself, but only reflects the sun's rays, like other space objects. After that, the Earth will begin to cool rapidly. The absence of light will stop the process of photosynthesis, and after a few days without sunlight, many plants will die. Only large trees will be able to survive longer, for several years, thanks to the large reserves of glucose that plants produce during photosynthesis and their slow metabolism. The average temperature on Earth will drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius, and after a year, it will be around minus 70 to 80 degrees. The planet's water basins will begin to freeze, eventually turning into ice kilometers deep. After the plants die from hunger and cold, herbivorous animals will perish. Many predators will be left without food. Only animals adapted to feeding on carrion will have food for some time. But in the end, all living things will freeze or die of starvation. Microorganisms living deep underground and in areas of volcanic activity will be able to survive the longest. Here, they will be saved by the heat coming from the bowels of the planet. The oceans will be completely covered with ice, and under the thick layer of ice at the bottom of the ocean, the internal heat of the Earth will also make it possible for living creatures to survive, especially in areas of underwater volcanoes where molten magma will heat the surrounding environment.
What will happen to people in such a world? Humanity will not cease to exist instantly. Even without sunlight, people will be able to survive in deep bunkers or underwater cities, using geothermal energy for heating. In Iceland, for example, this is already being done. There is also the possibility of using nuclear energy. Plants could be grown under artificial lighting, for example. Of course, there will not be enough space in such autonomous dwellings for everyone, but humanity will be able to exist in such conditions for several decades. Unfortunately, without plants on Earth, the oxygen content in the atmosphere will steadily decline. There will be no way to replenish vitamin D reserves, which are produced in the body under the influence of sunlight. So humans will be able to survive for a while, but in the end, they will still be doomed. In the end, the only ones who will be able to continue living on Earth will be anaerobic bacteria. These are microorganisms that develop regardless of the presence of oxygen in the nutrient medium.
If the sun were to disappear completely, although this scenario is unrealistic, let's imagine how the fate of Earth and all of humanity would unfold if the sun completely disappeared from the solar system. In this case, the consequences for the inhabitants of the planet would be even worse. In addition to providing Earth with light and heat, the sun also keeps it in its orbit. Planets, their satellites, and all other bodies in the solar system move along their trajectories. As soon as the sun disappears, we will learn about it after the same 8 minutes and 20 seconds. According to Einstein's theory, gravitational waves travel at the same speed as light. After the sun's gravitational pull disappears, the Earth, like other objects in the solar system, will embark on an unpredictable journey through the vastness of the universe. And at any moment in the vastness of space, the planet may collide with another celestial body. In such a case, the chances of preserving life on Earth are critically negligible. Nevertheless, our star is about 5 billion years old, which is about half of its lifespan, so we are not in danger of being left without the sun in the near or distant future.
How will the sun die?
The Sun is a young star in its prime, having lived almost half of its 10 billion years of existence, and will continue to shine for at least another 4.5 billion years. Our star emits a constant stream of energy, and one day, the hydrogen in its core will burn out, passing the baton to helium and other heavier elements. At that point, the energy balance inside the Sun will change dramatically, and it will begin to transform. In fact, it will be an extremely beautiful and unimaginable sight. The Sun will expand to the orbit of Venus to become a red giant. It will swallow up the nearby planets, burn up the Earth, and, once sated, begin to cool, turning into a dead white dwarf. With a radius of a mere 10 kilometers, the remains of Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will revolve around it. According to scientists, the main process will take place no earlier than in about 5 billion years. Today, the Sun is in its main phase, maintaining constant thermonuclear reactions, and in this regard, we have nothing to worry about.
How can we predict the apocalypse of the Sun? Coronal mass ejections from the Sun are large eruptions of gas and highly magnetic solar material. A powerful avalanche of energy is ejected into space, and if it moves in the direction of Earth, it can cause irreparable damage to satellites and navigation systems. Scientists at NASA space centers are already developing a new way to predict space storms, with an accuracy of up to 24 hours. This potential method may one day save our planet from disaster if the Sun creates a real apocalyptic scenario. A high-powered and energy-saturated solar flare can cause electrical network transformers to explode. As is well known, all of our modern technologies are tied to electricity, so they will stop working. But of course, without electricity, cities will turn into vast areas of darkness without nighttime street lighting. Modern systems warn of a major storm of this type with an interval of 30 to 60 minutes. This time is clearly not enough to take protective measures against the threat of a huge cloud of high-energy solar material. Nevertheless, a new method for predicting solar emissions could provide time to protect our planet in some way, or at least minimize the risks of possible consequences. As we mentioned earlier, the Sun cannot simply disappear or go out in an instant. And by that time, if humanity somehow survives, it will face completely different problems. How many more years do you think humanity will exist? Share your opinion in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss new episodes. See you soon!